Hey everyone, Vazzy back here, and today is the day we've actually all been waiting for, as finally EA has released some news about updates coming to franchise mode in NHL 24. We are just now out, 3 days here from actually getting our hands on NHL 24, and I couldn't be more excited. I have a video coming out, I believe, I have scheduled for Sunday, that is tomorrow, just regarding all my plans for the first week or two, so definitely keep your eyes tuned on that. But now, let's get into the kind of news here that we have for franchise mode. So starting off with some absolutely huge news that we've all been kind of waiting to see, it looks like we're actually getting dynamic X Factors here, as X Factors will evolve and de-evolve based on attributes, potential, playstyle, and age. This is absolutely huge when it comes to franchise mode. Is now like, let's use Erik Karlsson for an example. As he starts to age and decline in rating and overall, he will start to lose those X factors, so you won't see him at like a 75 overall with a gold potentially. I think that's a great update to franchise mode, and is something we've definitely been asking for since the addition of X factors here a couple of years ago. And this kind of makes it so that when players are drafted, they don't necessarily have to have X factors right out of the draft. It's something they can still develop over time throughout the actual franchise mode itself. And I guess they'll just appear and then just kind of leave as they start to get older, decline, and all that kind of stuff. So this is huge. And it also says here players under 27 can still earn abilities, where when you get to that 32 years old range, when they kind of start to drop off, that's when you're going to likely see the abilities start to come off players. And also here, the first kind of point here they had on the first page of the update, they said here like players like two-way forwards, I'm assuming it'll be the same for two-way defensemen, can still get offensive and defensive abilities. It just kind of depends on their actual skills. Overall, I think EA just kind of wants it to match the players' attributes and all that stuff, so this is an absolutely huge W, guys. I can't tell you how excited I am to see this. Hopefully it's not broken or anything heading into day one here, but an absolutely awesome addition from EA. I give them all the props in the world for actually adding this. So yeah, let's move on to the second page of notes from EA. So starting out here, they just said the darkened menus will be coming to NHL 24 franchise mode, something we already knew. It's a good change though. Coaches will now actually utilize the secondary position of players. This is something you'd see so often. The AI line management was just horrible. They would never actually factor in those secondary positions of players, so this is absolutely huge. They also kind of go over that it'll just be better for even strength and power play lines depending on the coaching style. These are all small changes, but these are very good. Definitely should help with AI line management, which is something we've definitely been asking for. Another big thing here, they finally added the +4 line chemistry. This is something that just really didn't make any sense as why they didn't have it. So yeah, now you can actually get +4s as well, with +5, +3, +1. I assume you can get +2, I don't know. But yeah, +4s are getting added to the game, which is absolutely awesome. And then skipping across here to shot frequency, the setting is now from default to high. So this is good. It'll hopefully definitely make save percentages better for goalies. This is something you could manually set yourself, but now seeing that as the actual default for the mode, I think is really good. Yeah, personally that's what I did for my personal franchise modes, and it always definitely helped out in that regard. And then another huge, just kind of quality of life, just really good change, it is that EA finally fixed the bug where if you traded an unsigned prospect to a team, a lot of the time they wouldn't get signed and they would just end up getting dropped to free agency. So really you could go and trade a really good prospect and then just end up signing them again. Apparently that won't be in NHL 24, so that's really good to see, as you won't be able to just kind of cheese it and take all those players back. And then just skipping ahead here, another point. Another small thing, I actually didn't realize this wasn't a thing, but I guess it wasn't. CPU teams can now actually use buyouts. I guess this is something that they didn't end up having, I don't know. But yeah, now it's good to see if there's a player on a really bad contract on another team, they can now actually buy out that player, giving them the more cap space. And then another really good change here. This is just another thing when it comes to kind of AI line management, all that. If a team does not actually have a starting quality of goaltender, they will go and prioritize that now at the start of free agency. There's so many examples out there of teams that would be heading into camp with like a 70 overall goalie, and it just made no sense. So it's another really good quality of life, just kind of small fix, but it is definitely something that impacts the kind of real life feel to the game. And then another really good, kind of another small quality of life stat, but it's something that's really stupid, especially as you get into the later stages of franchise mode. A lot of the time, if a player has a good season, they're just going to ask for just stupid amounts of money when they get to free agency. So hopefully now that'll be fixed, so contracts don't get as crazy. Again, it's something we'll kind of have to wait and see in regards to if it actually works, but it's definitely something annoying to see later in the franchise, especially with defensemen. It's so hard to get cheap defensemen later on into the game. So yeah, this would be definitely a good fix for sure. And then lastly, this is something that I believe was already stated, but now you can have extra created teams, extra 30 of them perhaps, then also an extra 1,500 skaters and 200 goalies. Again, this is good, just gives us more freedom, gives us more room and all that when doing the custom rosters and all that stuff. So anything like that is always going to be appreciated for sure. And that's going to do it for today's video, going over our franchise mode changes here coming to NHL 24. I'm kind of sad we didn't get a deep dive for it. I guess there's not enough big stuff here, but really they fixed some really big bugs that a lot of us have been asking for so many years now. Guys like Tactics 2 really have their voice out there petitioning for a lot of these fixes, and it looks like they're actually starting to listen. So that's good. Definitely shows there is a bright future for the mode, hopefully here. And hopefully this is something they're just going to be building on over the next couple of years here, and just continuing to actually put some priority onto franchise mode. As yeah, that's something we definitely haven't seen here a ton over the last few years anyway. So yeah, I think these are really good changes here overall. And that's going to do it for today's quick video going over all those changes. Definitely let me know, what do you guys think of these changes in the comments down below. And yeah, we're just about 3 days out from NHL 24. Couldn't be more excited. I will see you guys all in the next video.